dynamic discussion with Kev-Incredible. See what I did there? His name is Kevin. I added the Incredible. That's going to be a thing that I try to do throughout this series. But anyways, here are the takeaways and the recap from our discussion with Kevin. He had a seriously amazing transformation. If you haven't listened to that episode, please go and do so. One of the quotes that I took away from our conversation was, appreciate the bad days along with the good days. If you're going through a process like this, there will definitely be bad, hard, challenging days. But there will also be good, great, amazing days. Appreciate the process and stick with it. So, a quick overview of Kevin's whole journey. It started when he was diagnosed with depression and PTSD, and he went to the doctors for a physical. The doctor told Kev, amongst other things, he told Kevin that he should lose weight. I didn't ask what the other things were. I imagine it was stuff like blood pressure, blood glucose, if I can speak. But I didn't ask. Those typically come along with being overweight. But anyways, doctor's like, hey, Kev, you got to lose some weight. Okay, who cares? The doctor tells us to do stuff all the time, but we don't actually normally do it. So I asked Kev how he actually got started, or what made him actually get started. And Kevin said he was sick and tired of being sick and tired, which is an awesome quote. In my experience, I find that to be very, very true. Whether it's how you look, how you feel, maybe you say you have like a sore shoulder, or your back hurts or something. Even if your back hurts, you're not necessarily going to go and do something immediately. Typically, it's going to take some time until you get sick and tired of it. So Kevin was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So he reached out to Dynamics and he started training with Joe 1 session per week and started making some small changes to his diet based off of what he was researching and some of Joe's recommendations. And after some time, he started seeing and feeling changes. So he continued the process. He then starts to upgrade ingredients. Again, he's getting some recommendations from Joe, and Kevin is also reading nutrition facts and labels and everything like that. He eliminated processed sugars and alcohol. He remained consistent. Very, very important point. He remained consistent. And he lost about 85 pounds in a year, which is truly incredible. And then he went on to gain like 40 to 50 pounds of muscle, which is seriously incredible. I am very jealous because I've been trying to gain that much muscle my whole life. But I'm staying consistent with the process and I'm seeing results. So, consistency. Anyways. The biggest takeaways from our conversation with Kevin and his journey: small changes and consistency over time. Those two things will lead to results. Another takeaway: Kevin said he didn't do any tracking until a couple years ago. So he made the entire transformation without tracking at all. Now he does track his calories and macros, but that is more for performance reasons. It wasn't necessarily for his transformation. Another big takeaway was that now Kevin doesn't restrict his diet. He will enjoy some treats like wine or sweets, like desserts on a date night. He does enjoy those now. He doesn't restrict them 100%, but he also doesn't go crazy with them, which allows him to remain consistent with the overall plan, which I think is hugely important. All right, So there it is. I should also mention that Kevin went on, became a boot camp instructor, and is now also a personal trainer working at Dynamics, very similar to what ended up happening with Jamie, except Jamie started with boot camps first, whereas Kevin started with one-on-one training sessions with Joe first, and then he, along with training with Joe, after some time, he felt comfortable also going to boot camp, so he also started doing that. I should have mentioned that earlier. But anyways, pretty cool. Jamie and Kevin both went through this awesome transformation and ended up working at Dynamics. So I guess props to Joe, the owner of Dynamics, and props to Dynamics in general, because it is a pretty sweet place. There you go. Takeaways and recaps with the dynamic discussion with Kev-Incredible. Thanks.